So EA delivered 83 player picks, but they're a little bit different. I thought, you know what, we got a 1 of 4 player pick. We could do it 3 times a day. I was just like, okay, we've got 2 squads. What on earth could we get? So we've got a rare player, exactly 11 gold, and we have a 2 rare, exactly 11 gold. I don't quite get this, to be honest. It's a very interesting way of doing these, but I mean, I'll absolutely take it. It means we barely have to put any high-rated players into this, and we get a guaranteed of an 83 at a minimum. 1 of 4. I can imagine a lot of them will be 83 rated, but we've got to give it a go at the minimum. We do have 80 plus player picks out as well. We haven't got any rares in this one. Let's see if we can get this done. Obviously, you can just squad build gold, go for the lowest, and just put in some rares. You're absolutely brilliant for it. But are EA actually turning this around slightly? I know there's been a bit of up and down with the fantasy players because there's been, I think, about 4 or 5 injuries, so half of them pretty much won't get an upgrade, or at least will miss out on 1 or 2 of the upgrades. So we have the 1 of 4 83 player pick. We've got it twice more if we really wanted to. So, you know what? I take an 87 for 22 golds. The best thing about this is if you are not necessarily grinding anything else out, you have obviously got the daily golds as well. That is 4 times at a minimum, so we have got this every single day that you can do at least 4 of them. So that means you pretty much get 2 of them 83 picks. Is it 2? Yeah, you get 2 of them done literally just from doing that, because that's bronze and silvers. You can go and straight away put it into that. Then we obviously have the 83 times 10. The grind actually is looking slightly better. We have got the 81 double as well. That is repeatable for the next 3 days. And where is this 80 player pick gone? We've got it here. It is a 1 of 3. I believe this one will be the same as last time. 6 in the squad and 1 rare. So that one is pretty much standard as ever. So when you've done your 83 pick, then really it's just coming over here and doing this one. Obviously, you only got to put 5 in. So in terms of the grind, it's not bad. But they do this, and I find they do it quite a lot, where they just overdo the SBCs, and then you've got to question what you actually do. 80 plus player pick, we take an 83. So what you've got now is a kind of conflicting argument of the 80 plus player picks, the 81 double, and then also the Fantasy FC crafting. So with the crafting, I believe that's a full 11, 1 rare. So it's a pretty standard to every other crafting objective we've got. We have the 81 double, which is 5 rare, 11 gold. Not really feeling that, to be fair. The big thing for that is the 81 double normally is pretty good. Now we've got a crazy amount of 83s. It started to lose its effect. I feel like the 82 double, when that eventually comes out, maybe even an 83 double if they do choose to do something like that, that more than likely will be later on down the line. That will be what the old 81 double was like. So I would personally go for the fantasy crafting out of them two, because you got to put a full 11 into either of them. And with the fantasy crafting, you at least get some objectives done at the same time. And you get free back. Guaranteed that they are, well, granted they are 77 rated plus, so you are likely to not get 81 doubles out of it. The 83 player picks, I think, is a big dub. Again, it's just gold players, so it is as standard as ever. You can literally go and do the daily gold upgrades. That'll give you 2 of them done. And then even then, you can go do the daily silvers. That'll get you into a premium silver upgrade, which gets you 5 common gold. So 2 of them, get a couple of rares. You're done. Like that is the easiest grind going. So for me, that's a big dub. I do like the 80 plus player picks, I'm not going to lie. I think they are normally pretty good. 81 picks, 80 picks, whatever you can get, especially when they only need 6. That I think is a massive one, because then you are likely to you are less likely to actually get a duplicate, or at least hopefully less likely to get a duplicate. So I think for me that is always going to be a big dub in anyone's eyes. I just saw the res, didn't I? Of course. Let's see what the second one gets me. We'll finish off the 283s and then we'll explore what else we got today, if anything. 80 player pick, give me somebody big. 83 again. I suppose we're getting them up. So let's get the 83s done. If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable. But make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders. So that is everybody done. And it's quite funny that they are almost giving us content that is kind of 6 PM, log in, do the upgrades, go off. It just seems that way at times, because we've obviously got the 83 times 10 to do as well. First one, I mean, that is kind of what I expected to start with, to be honest. Quadruple 83s, Fantasy Foot. Wow, okay, back-to-back 83. That is kind of more what I expected. We then obviously have the 83 times 10. We have 3 of them to do. I quite like them. It is interesting to see them so early on in the game, especially 83. And it just shows you how many 83s we actually have. It is a crazy amount. And again, Team of the Weeks are becoming a need once more. But it's quite funny that the best game mode or best sort of objective / mode that we've got is the cup. I've seen nothing but love for this cup. I haven't really even started it, to be honest, so I do need to get on board with it. But I haven't seen that much of a positive response on EA for quite some time, I must admit. So it is nice, and I think it's just, again, going from different, like genuinely having that 86 rated team. It means everybody's team is different, because nobody's stacking the best 86, 87 rated SBC squad in the game at all. I have literally been using, other than potentially reviewing cards, obviously using SBCs, where's Garincha gone? This has been my team, bar from obviously Putellas, has been my team for months. Maybe you've thrown in a few SBCs and here, there and everywhere, but realistically, it was, what? Putellas was first in, last in fact. Best was the one before that. Maldini, I suppose, then probably Garincha, Mbappe. Then literally over the past 2 months, I've probably added 2 free cards, and that is about it. And everybody else, I can imagine, is the same. You've maybe got an icon keeper or a keeper that you like in there. Virgil's always a standpoint there. Maldini was a great SBC, but Blanc was another SBC from him. My right back, I must admit, I am trying to change for Cafu, so he will be that at some point. Baka was very early on. Zidane was obviously around with Mbappe. Etta was an icon upgrade, same as Garincha, and Best was an SBC, and Putellas was just a very lucky pack. Other than that, the team has not changed one bit. So it is nice to have a completely fresh game mode up. I think the team that I made for it, I don't know, what did I even call them? Cup. So I think this was the team I made for it. So it's different. It's something that is actually excited to play to some extent. Don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, you know what, I cannot wait to go on my 86 rated team, but at the minimum, it's nice to not go against the absolute meta all the time. It's nice that we have this game mode, and it's where I think the evolution game mode could come in, or just generic game mode that could take place. It's something a bit more interesting that they don't have to be as sweaty. In terms of other content for today, I believe we only had one other thing, which was a player in Chris. Good old Chris, 88 rated. He's a 5-star, 4-star now. Obviously left wing, technical plus. He's got himself left wing, right wing, centre forward, or left mid. And in terms of stats, really not terrible. It's a decent card. We do have to have the upgrade, so anything from today is what counts from Stuttgart. He's obviously in German 1. In terms of play styles, we've got a bit of an upgrade there. He is 2 team of the weeks. I mean, he's all right, but he isn't that good, surely. I think, what's the SBC coming in at? We're looking at 110. I mean, he can go up. I don't know how well Stuttgart are doing this year, but I mean, surely even, I suppose, he could go up to a 92 on an absolute max still. I don't know, I'm half and half with that price. That pricing's quite high up there. It's the 2 team of the weeks. I'm just you don't need 2 team of the weeks for him. You've made Gully 93,000. Again, he goes to a 92. He gets the max chemistry. We've got a left wing that we have multiple left wings SBCs throughout the whole of the game. I think he could be a little bit cheaper. Maybe they went a bit more expensive. Even just 1 team of the week, I could kind of understand that. We've got a player picks coming in at 2.6. The 83 picks, I don't think is a problem whatsoever, to be honest. I think that one for me is absolutely fine. I think that is a different way of doing the upgrade. Again, it's just to get more golds off you and maybe just make you do the daily golds. Now, if you just literally just keep grinding through these every single day, you can do them for literally nothing, which is absolutely perfect. So hopefully we start seeing more of them. I can imagine we are going to find this pattern again as we find the 83 times 10 has come back. More than likely we find the 84 times 10 again, and it just keeps going round in circles. I'm interested to know if they'll do anything different with an 81 double or an 80 player pick, something a bit more original, but I get there's only so much. It's not like they're going to give us the exact same 80 plus pick, but it's 82 plus, because then it just becomes far too overpowered, and more than likely it kind of deems everything else worthless as such, because you just keep grinding them, surely. But in terms of content, I feel like they've done well for fantasy. Maybe, yes, they've been hit with a little bit of a stick in the road with like Griezmann injured, and I think there was 3 or 4 other players that have been injured or at least notified to be injured. So they don't really have too much control over that, because naturally if they get injured the week that fantasy is there, it's not as if they're doing it for fantasy, but it just is what is, to be honest. But in terms of everything else, I think they've done pretty well. We haven't, well, I say we haven't had a load of packs. We've had a decent amount. What's that include? Includes 3 base icons with 1 guaranteed 88, 50 golds above 80. Wow. 3, that's just mental. 3 icons in 1 pack. You're guaranteed a double walkout icon. That's crazy. What have we got? 30 85s, 20 rare. Why on earth is that there? 20 rares, 1 guaranteed 86, 1 UCL or UCL triple threat or fantasy FC hero pick. Okay, that's pretty cool. Is that it? 3 players. Includes 1 of it. What else do you get? You get 3... I don't even know what else you get in that. Includes 1 UCL, UCL women's, triple threat or fantasy FC hero pick. Oh, okay. It's got the heroes in it as well. Why? I don't get what comes with it though, because you've got 1 pick, but you've got 3 items. So I'm assuming you just get 2 rares with it. I can't believe they put fantasy FC hero pick in there as well though. That seems very weird to have that in there at this point. Like, we've only just got them. No wonder. What are the prices coming in at, actually? Because we've got... I know Tevez has got a price. No, there is no way he's 280,000. Surely. There is no way. Hold on. Fantasy... no, that's just going to show his... Why? I thought he was a good striker. Is he? I'm so confused on that pricing. So we've got... Oh, no. I'm absolutely baffled that card is that much. I genuinely had him down for like at least over $1 million. That is nuts. I'm so confused. Like literally, we've got obviously 77 for Rory Costa. I can kind of understand that. Kessler 400, Lizarazu 740, 1.86. Like, why is he so cheap? He was a decent striker. Like, how much is his base? His base is still 60. I really don't understand why he's so cheap, unless he's been like the one you get out of that pack. That makes 0 sense that he is that cheap. I know that they obviously screwed with his price range, so it was like 150, then it went up to 350. I don't know if people are just selling, so people are assuming that he's not worth it, but I could tell you I'd rather pay 300k than 4 million coins for obviously Tevez there. Tevez is phenomenal, but 4.3 is absolutely crazy. What's everybody else? Did anybody else drop? Creasy's still 4.7. We've got 1.5 for Kelly. That's nuts. 2.5, 6 mil for Mendy. I know he is due an upgrade, so that's always interesting. But, I mean, I really... Like, even Lacazette's 420. I know that they can technically have more of an upgrade, but that is absolutely nuts. Like, let me know. Am I being stupid here, or is he really not worth more than that? Like, I think that is arguably one of the best priced strikers we can get then. 280 is nothing for a card like that. Well, you learn something every day. That's fair enough. But in terms of all the other content, I feel like they've done their part, to be honest. You've got obviously all the objectives to grind out. I'm kind of expecting a more quieter week with fantasy because we saw it during the... What did we see it during? We saw it during the road to the final. They didn't really do too many SBCs. I know we've had a couple of heroes, now a couple of players. So I kind of imagine we are just now grinding towards this. We've got 16 days left. Obviously, I've got the masterclass to do, but you've got your champions bonus, fantasy cup to do, completionist to do. Like that's got what, 150. So that is going to be, again, another one to grind through. We have obviously got a player to finish. I think seasonal wise, it's just the standard. Obviously, you've got your home and away if you really need them. To be honest, I wouldn't really bother. And then obviously you've got the foundation. So in fact, what's the seasonal like? Because what I would suggest, you've got 16 days. So what you could do is the cheeky one. If you can manage to get to level 20, is it level 20 or 25? 25. If you can get to 25 without needing that kit, what they tend to do as well is they give you bonus XP at the very end. So like last season we got 4,000 XP. You could hold on to both of them and just fly through the next season. If you're not too fussed, if you've already got to level 25, you're doing your weekly, you're doing your daily, and then obviously all the other objectives, like I believe the cup has 1,000 in it and everything else, so you got 500 there as well. If you can grind that out, then if you did want to get these and obviously then do the extra XP they more than likely give us, you'd be like 5,000 to 6,000 over on the next season already, and then you just keep doing it that way, to be honest. So in terms of the grind, I feel like it's definitely on again. Honestly, in terms of the cards, I'm like, they're okay, but you really want the biggest ones, and unfortunately, they are a bit more out of our reach, to be honest. Now, in terms of players, I think we have got a decent amount. Whether I'd put the kind of Chris in there, I'd probably put him as solid value, but maybe not a must complete. We did do the tier list if you want to check that one out today, as that one's based on all of the SBCs we do see. So I'll leave that down, or at least on the screen somewhere. Let me know down below what you think about the content today. I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.